Okay, I'll get right into it.
All right.
A little over 2 months ago, my brother showed me a video of you
Yes.
and Daryl being interviewed by a man named Alan Steinfeld.
Yes.
It was the first video I ever seen of you.
Oh, all right.
This year. And I didn't know it at the time, but that was the day my life changed.
Well, it's the day you changed it.
Yeah. In the coming days after that, for about a solid week, give or take a day,
Yes.
I watched a lot of your videos, learned a lot from you.
Yes.
A lot of the beliefs you express, I have already felt throughout my whole life,
Yes.
and it's reaffirmed a lot for me.
All right. Thank you for remembering what you already knew.
So we'll fast forward to October 4th, 9:30 p.m. We were coming back from a provincial park of ours in Canada.
Yes.
9:30 p.m., we just hit the city limits.
Yes.
As we're coming in, I see a blinking red light in the sky.
Yes.
To me, at a distance, it looked like a cell phone tower. It was about the same height, blinking just like a normal cell phone tower would.
Yes.
I'm getting closer and closer and closer.
Yes.
I actually forgot about it. I glanced over to the right, where I thought the tower would be minutes later.
Yes.
I didn't see any structure. I looked up to the windshield, and what I seen amazed me. I slammed on the brakes, cars swerved around me.
How exciting.
It was. My heart was racing like it is now. So I pull over to the shoulder, I get out of the car, and I look up, and what I see is a black triangle craft with a blinking light in the center,
Yes.
a green and blue light on either side. My fiance, I got her to draw what she's seen right away. She's seen a boomerang. She drew it on a Kleenex box. That's all we had in the car.
Oh, all right.
So we both seen different things, and I believe I understand that we were just on different frequencies. We interpreted it differently, but seen the same thing.
Yes.
It was hovering there, and I believe it acknowledged me because it was stationary. And as I looked at it, it
Yes.
slowly started moving away, and then at a faster and faster pace, it left. And we actually chased it, but I realized we couldn't catch it. It was going way too fast. So
Nice try.
Yeah, we tried. So we pulled over, and then we just sat there and watched it blink off into the distance until we couldn't see it anymore.
Oh, all right.
We drove the rest of the ride home in silence, just stunned. I guess my question is, who was it in the craft?
A hybrid race called the Yael. You understand this reference?
Could you elaborate?
Yes. The idea is that there are 5 hybrid races. We are one of them. But the hybrid race that will make open contact with your civilization first call themselves the Yael. They are most similar to you. Do you understand the idea of hybrid races?
Yes.
All right. So, being that they are most similar to you, they are more easily assimilated and can acclimate into your society. And thus, in presenting themselves to you when open contact occurs, not that they will necessarily be the first extraterrestrial race to have open contact with you, but they will be the first hybrid race to have open contact with Earth, then it will make your interactions with them that much easier because they are similar to you and are related to all of you. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. So they present their ships from time to time, now, in this particular time, ramping up, as you say, to open contact, to gauge the reactions, to gauge the responses, to see who it is that can even perceive them. Because sometimes those kinds of sightings, as you have described them, may only be seen by few, and other times they may be seen by many. Again, they will alter their frequency in such a way as to make whatever kind of sighting need to happen necessary, and thus gauge through those responses, your reactions to them, whether you are ready for more contact or not.
So were they in particular showing themselves to me or to anybody?
Well,
driving
let's
down the
say
street?
they were showing themselves to anyone who was willing to allow their consciousness to alter to that wavelength, which you did, which gives them a reading of how many people are ready to have the contact begin. Do you understand?
I do. I was surprised at how many cars passed me and didn't, you know, you think if you
saw
see
nothing.
someone looking up, they
Yes,
look
they
up too.
saw nothing.
Nobody did, yeah.
No. Some other people did, but many people did not. This is typical in the way we gauge your readiness for contact.
Is there any specific connection to me from
Yes.
that ship?
Again, any kind of encounter of that type will, not always, but more often than not, include what might be called an incarnational counterpart in that society. Another extension of the same oversoul that you are an extension of, which is one of the reasons why there can be vibrational similarity. Why you might key more readily into that frequency, because there is another version, so to speak, of you in their reality, in that ship, in their society. Do you understand?
That's very exciting.
So it's like looking into a mirror, but seeing a different kind of reflection than you're used to. Yes, it is very exciting. And so, anything else about your experience you would like to discuss?
Should I open up to, well, I want to open up.
Two,
Are they trying to guide me?
they're not trying anything. They will allow themselves to occupy a certain frequency. The fact that you can have the experience that you had is the guidance. It lets you know that you are flexible in your consciousness, willing to open up to those frequencies, and by remembering how you felt during that experience, what state of being you were in during that experience, you can use that state of being as guidance to know that anytime you think back to that experience, you will be in that state of being, even if it doesn't feel exactly the same. And therefore, that's the state of being that is more representative of more of your true self. Therefore, in everything that you do in life, in acting on your excitement, come from that state of being when you act. And you will be more aligned with your true self in doing so. So they have given you a key, a clue to the state of being that will automatically guide you through life in the most natural way for you. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Does this address your questions? Or again, is there something else you wish to discuss about this?
I guess one last thing. Is there anything you could, some kind of advice you could get me to point me in the right, or the next direction?
Some kind of a device?
Advice.
You mean like a compass?
Advice.
Oh, advice.
Something you could suggest?
Well, you have heard us talk about the idea of acting on your highest excitement.
Absolutely.
To the best of your ability, with zero insistence on a particular outcome.
Yes.
That's your compass. Yes?
Yes. Thank you very much for sure.
We understand that from time to time, people will ask that question many, many times. Is there anything else you can tell me? Mm-hmm. That is really it. That is really the whole formula. That's it. It really is that we're leaving nothing out of that formula. You understand?
Yeah.
It's that simple. Now, I understand that the way many people on your planet have been trained to believe is that things can't be that easy. They can't be that simple. But they are. That's what you're really learning. Yes?
Yes.
They are that simple. And if you can use the tool that simply, then your life, you will experience in your life that simplicity reflected and that transparency reflected to you. And the world will open up to you and you will understand how things work. Again, this is the purpose of providing the idea of the unifying theory class, so that you can really deeply understand these things. You can investigate every single little aspect of it and really, really make it your own and bring true knowledge and understanding to it, so that it becomes not your second nature, but your first nature to understand and respond to life through the idea of that unifying principle. Yes?
Yes.
All right. So the first thing about it is we understand that life is richly complex, but fundamentally it's not complicated. The principles are very, very simple. Were they more complicated, creation couldn't stand under its own weight. It has to be simple, richly complex in all of the different ways it can combine the simple principles, but the principles have to be simple in order for it to exist in the way that it does. Otherwise, it would simply be too weighty, too complicated to work. Yes?
Yes.
All right. Does this help you?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.